Um, Jesus has ordered me to exercise a half an hour a day. And I usually do it outdoors because that's what he wants. But I made him cry because I wasn't doing this, because I wasn't exercising. And I don't like making Jesus cry. So I said, oh dear, Jesus knew how to motivate me. Yeah, I was exercising indoors and not outside like he asked me to. And then he talked to me one day and says, Gail, how's the exercise program going? And I said, oh, how are your walks going? I said, oh, well, it's, I said, I've been exercising indoor, opening the windows and getting that outside air because you said you'd put something special in the air to help me. And he said, Gail, I'm really hurt. He said, that's not what I asked you to do. He said, I have my reasons for why I wanted you to exercise outdoors. And so he told me it rained today and yesterday, and I really tried to go out, but Jesus said, he said, I want you to go out every day except for the days when it's raining. So I worked out today on my glider, but this is not the way I normally do it anymore. And he, like I said, Jesus he's not a crybaby, but he really did cry. My men told me he cried so much, he got so stuffed up, it was like he was talking through his nose, the nasal sound when you cry, and I thought, ugh, Jesus knew how to get to me. If he was angry at me, that wouldn't motivate me nearly as much as making him cry, because he said, Gail, I tell you this for your own good. And I know what's going to happen to you if you don't listen to me. So I go out now. Unless it's really raining. It's been raining a lot today and yesterday. But for the past couple weeks, I've been doing what he says. And the main reason he brought it up is because I complained to him about having leg cramps. And, in my sleep that were waking me up, it felt like my leg was electrocuted. And he said, Gail, you need to, it's caused by lack of activity. He said you need to go out, and he said, I want you to walk at half an hour a day. So I've been doing that, and you know what? I've been feeling a lot better. And so Jesus apparently believes in physical fitness. He does not believe in neglecting your body. Apparently he made these bodies to move, and today I worked out on this, but normally I go out. I actually get a better workout when I go out. But today I worked out on the glider, but like I said, I don't like making him sad. You say, oh, he's a fake Jesus. How do you know he's the real Jesus and you're not dealing with a fake? Oh, there are several reasons. For one time he put I woke up one morning and I looked at I was going to take my garbage out, and I looked in my garbage can, and there was a gallon of water down at the bottom. I emailed Brent, and I said, what? I said, why in the world was there a gallon of water at the bottom of my water? And then Brent Skyped me that day, and he said, oh, Jesus and I had lunch, and Jesus just wanted to tell you that he and Zach Knight were fighting in your apartment, and he left the gallon of water there at the bottom of your garbage as proof. Nobody else lives here except me, okay? You might say, oh, you're hallucinating. It's because you're schizophrenic. I'm telling you, man, I didn't put the water in the bottom of the garbage can. That's not the only time that Jesus has shown me that he's done something unusual. You say, how in the world does Zach Knight get in your apartment? According to Jesus, he uses a special type of brain-to-brain, and I don't even know exactly how it works, and he's able to teleport himself right into this apartment. And he can put an invisibility shield over him so I don't see him. You say, well, why? But you say, why in the world was there a gallon of water at the bottom of your garbage can? And apparently, according to Jesus, Zach Knight was planning on bashing me with that gallon of water in my sleep, and Jesus came into my apartment to rescue me. Another weird thing that happens is one time I had new phone service put in my apartment. I have since canceled it because it turned out to be a ripoff. But to tell you what happened was I had everything set up with the phone, and I know I plugged the phone into its cable when I went to bed that night. When I came out the next morning, the phone was unplugged. I didn't do it. Apparently, Zach and I was planning on doing something using phone technology. You know, he's like an electronics computer genius. Jesus stopped him. And then the other thing that happened one time, it's just been like, it's so many instances where Jesus has let me know. The missing splint. I know I laid my dental splint down, probably by my fan. It's been missing now for 6 months. I asked Jesus, I said, what happened to my splint? He said, Zach and I used very strong brain control on you, and he caused you to lay it in a really strange spot, and you're going to find it later. That was like June, and it's now November. I'm wondering if the strange spot might be that I dropped it into a wormhole or something, and I haven't found it yet, man. I've done major cleaning of this apartment. He said, I'll find it later. Maybe he meant heaven. I'm starting to wonder. You want to say, oh, you're schizophrenic. You just can't remember things right. No. First of all, like I said, I didn't put the gallon of water dead. There have been other instances. Zach and I's giving me amnesia right now. I can't remember them all, but it's just been so many things. There was the time when and you know, like I have a recording now. I've made a recording of Brent Spiner. I actually heard his voice at the Quebec trial. You know, people are saying that's a fake trial, that it didn't happen. That Quebec, Canada didn't have the Quebec trial in August 2011. It most certainly did happen. And that was the real Loree McBride, or one of her clones that I was talking with. But it most certainly did happen. And I actually have a recording of Brent's voice in the Quebec trial, and I've made a video of that, which I have put, which I'll put in a link right below this video, and which I put in a link below the previous video I made about how the Jesuits are lying about my Jesuits. What the Jesuits are doing is they are making comments allegedly about my videos that make it appear like I said something in the video that I didn't say. For instance, the one Jesuit commentator was stating that I stated that the Jesuits launched a Nukkake on YouTube from YouTube. I never said that, but they made that comment to make me appear really crazy. Like, oh, she's got to be nuts because she's claiming that a Nukkake was launched from YouTube, a video sharing company. I never said it was launched from YouTube. This is what I'm talking about, Jesuits lying. They are, in their rabid attempts to discredit me, they are making statements that are not true to insinuate that I'm crazier than I am. For instance, the way that the Jesuits managed to use one of my family members to get me committed against my will for about a week to a psych hospital was that family member made a lying statement claiming that I ran out into the street and that I was waiting for Vladimir Putin to come rescue me from the police. I never ever did anything like that. I never said anything like that. And, you know, this is what I'm talking about. I'm really ashamed of this family member, to be honest with you, because it's just such an evil thing to do, to lie like that. I could have gotten in big trouble. And if Jesus and my men didn't intervene, you know, it could have been a real tragedy. I could have been committed against my will to a psych hospital based on lies. They can't take you out. They cannot commit you to a psychiatric facility against your will unless you're a danger to yourself or someone else. And I have never my entire life ever been a danger to myself or anyone else. And I do have the real Brent Spiner in my life, and there's evidence, like I said, if you listen to video number 4 in Judge Terrence Jenkins' YouTube series about the Quebec trial, at the very beginning of the video, you can hear Brent Spiner's voice at the trial. He was there. And I asked him to come up to the stand to ask who he was afraid of, whether it was me or Loree McBride, and you can hear his voice. And it's an exact match to the voice in Oh Yellow Eyes Is Back. And so I actually made a video about that. So, you know, I'm just telling you, these Jesuits are resorting to lying to discredit me, to make me appear crazy so that they can eliminate me. Anyways, I was exercising today, but Jesus, like I said, oh, I forgot to mention the calendar. You see this calendar here? This calendar was not like this. See how it is? When I went to bed at night, this was around June, this calendar was in good shape. I woke up the next morning and this page was practically ripped out. And I asked Brent, what happened to my calendar? And like I said, I'm here by myself. Nobody sleeps in that bed with me. It's just me. And Jesus said, oh, I left the calendar the way it was because me and Zach Knight were fighting in your room. And apparently Zach was up to no good. And he said, that's the reason your calendar was ripped. You're saying, oh, you didn't. You just don't remember. You sleepwalk. No, no. Folks, I'm dealing with the real Jesus Christ, okay?